timing. Free will, yes or no? Raise your hand. If free will, yes. Raise your hand. Oh, okay. All right. So, this is, okay, I understand it's very hard to define free will, and you guys base it off of a sort of feeling. Everyone knows what we're talking about, but specific definition here. You have free will if you have the ability to do otherwise. This is at any given point in time. There is another possibility of something for you to pick, like in a choice. If we restarted the universe, changing nothing, is there any possibility that you could pick something different than you had before? If you do, that would have been free will. And this is the opponent to free will, determinism. The state of the world at any given time, plus the laws of nature, equals the state of the world right now. As in, you could have never picked anything else based on time and laws of nature. There are three common responses to this. We have free will, and everything is predetermined, or we are predetermined only and have no free will. I will be arguing first why we do not have free will, why this is compatibilism. Compatibilism is impossible, and why everything is predetermined. We have free will, first claim, aka Libertarian incompatibilism. Free will and determinism are incompatible, but we do have free will. We feel free and we make planned choices, and we are responsible for punishment and our own actions, because without free will, how do we determine what's up to us? Why is it our fault if everything was bound to happen anyways? And what should we do about that? However, it's scientifically proven based on neurology at this current point in time. 1985, actually, they were able to scan people's brains and know what they were about to think milliseconds before they knew they thought it. This proves temporally that we did not consciously pick what we were going to choose, and rather it was set up and it came to us afterwards into whatever you would define as the conscious, as in meta thought. Determinism is true, and we have free will, aka compatibilism. A lot of philosophers in modern times pick this now, because in this situation, we are free in some times, and we are not free in other times. Our actions are allowed to be predetermined because of neurology and laws of physics, but also we have room in there to squeeze in moral punishment and responsibility. And we'll get to that in a second, but please, I would like any volunteer, raise your hand. Volunteer, I'm begging you. Come up, please. Here you go.
Thanks.
Why'd you say thanks?
Because you handed me something.
Okay. Is that the response that you always take when someone hands you something?
Depends on the person.
Okay. So, why did you do that, though, to me, specifically?
Why did I pick,
Why
take
did you
it
say
from
thanks?
you?
Yeah.
Oh, because, pretty cool.
Thank you. See, why does he think I'm cool, though?
No problems.
No problems? Okay. Why no problems?
I don't know, it's just, opposite sides of the classroom.
True, true. Why don't we sit on opposite side of the classroom?
You sat there, I sat there.
So it wasn't up to you, was it?
I mean, there was nobody, in the room at the time, so I kind of just went over there.
Right. Okay. You can sit down. Take that paper with you.
Oh, thank you.
Why'd you take that paper with you?
Told me to.
Compatibilists, notice what they've taken out. They've taken out that we make our own choices. Compatibilists say we have free will, and then proceed to say we don't make our own choices, and we couldn't have done otherwise. So, do they really believe in free will, or are they goalpost moving? Determinism. Our actions are predetermined, and we are not responsible for our own actions. This is an important distinction because this is the main hang-up everyone has when you say we don't have free will. Okay, but why am I responsible? The answer is you're not. And there's different reasons for why you're morally liable for the actions you take, whether it was up to you or not. First here we have the main setup and argument for determinism. If you want to disagree with determinism, you have to reject one of these first two premises. It's an unalterable fact that the state of the world at any previous time was X. Premise 2, it's an unalterable fact that the state of the world was X, then I am in my current position. Previous time leads up to exactly what we had at this time. Therefore, it is an unalterable fact that I'm in my current situation, aka I could have not done otherwise. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, so setup for this, interviewer guy is asking if Neil deGrasse Tyson thinks free will is true or not. What would you prefer? I'm thinking over the recent years because I didn't used to think about this at all, and my thinking over recent years has leaned towards the absence of free will for practically everything we do in our lives. And I base that on the fact that over time, things that we have done as people in our species at one point in time was you were totally to blame for that, or something you did, or something we've learned. No, this person is more susceptible than you are to addiction. There's a biochemistry there. This person cannot be just made the life of the party because they're on the autism spectrum. They don't control that in the way that you might think they should. Just because you're the life of the party is you add up all of these things. Let's go back to epilepsy, where before that was even a word, you were just occupied by the devil. Did you do something bad? Or, well, you knew it was not, everyone knew you were not in control. But, guys, this is, this is rough. A depressed person who's ready to jump off the bridge, in that instant, do they have the free will to not jump off the bridge? I don't think so. What he's trying to explain here, and what I was desperately trying to dub over, is that over time, we come up with more and more explanations for why things have happened. And there's going to be a point in time where, as humans, we can comprehend all the reasons. Just because you can't see them all right now doesn't mean there aren't a gazillion trillion reasons why you've done the thing that you've done. Wrong time. Why'd you do that, man? He still has the paper. That's pretty crazy. But, okay, this is important. Moral responsibility. The contagion theory. You are morally responsible. We are going to punish you because you might harm society in the future. This is based on probability and rehabilitation instead of punishment and revenge and this nebulous concept of, well, it was your fault, so go in jail. It's more based on the statistics that we know of. People who've committed a crime are much more likely to commit a crime again. So they have to be locked up for future safety. Pay attention. Recap. My time is up. But thank you. Do we have time for questions? Go ahead. Questions.
And you can also ask Tyler questions as well.
Why'd you do that, man? Yes, question.
What is then the value of life? Or what is the value of self-growth or improvement if we all are just going to eventually have the same end?
Self-improvement makes you happier. That's why.
Right, but wouldn't self-improvement not exist if
Time still passes, and you do get better over time, so it definitely exists. Yes.
Would you argue that maybe some people have the option to, like, put their will on others? For example, if the depressed person is about to jump, this is a really bad example, about to jump off a bridge, but a person comes by and says, no, stop, and that was
Right.
the thing they need to not. Would that fall into determinism?
Yeah, I would say it's predetermined that that other person was going to go up there and stop them.
Okay.
Yes.
So like, if someone is like successful, no matter what they do in their life, if it's more like a wrong, no matter what in their life, they will become successful, that was determined.
Everything in their life was determined. So the nepotism that enabled them to be successful was also predetermined. Like,
But what if like coming about, when it's from the bottom to the top, so that predetermined that they will be at the top, or?
yeah, circumstances, neurology, opportunity, everything. Every single point in time was determined by the previous point in time before it.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, any questions?
Microsoft clipchamp. Microsoft clipchamp. Hi guys, I missed you so much. Okay, this one was so fun to do, right? Okay, so this is important. Important context for this speech is the person who went before me. This was a film student, we'll say. He did a speech on the existence of the soul and went into religion and free will. Coincidentally, I was beside myself. The timing, perfect, absolutely. I could not resist. Truly, it was very, yeah, it was great. And that student that volunteered for me, that him, that was the film student. He was the guy. Love that he volunteered for me. The first person to ask a question as well, the one about self-improvement, that was him as well. Yeah, thematically it was very nice. And he afterwards, we have no hard feelings. It was actually, we both agreed it was extremely fun and right, cool. I love that. So okay, this speech. This was the persuasive speech, our third speech, and my topic was free will does not exist. That was what I'm persuading. And my goal with this was to set up, disprove libertarian incompatibilism, then disprove compatibilism, and then prove determinism, which is free will is not real. And I did not I think I really knew what I was talking about with this, of course, but I had very lofty goals for how I was going to portray this and how strong my argument would be. And if you would examine my content, my argument is very strong, but the way it came across in the speech was not very logically focused. And instead, it kind of, honestly, this is a trade-off I'm willing to make. Instead of being logically dense and impactful, it became more personably reachable and relatable to people in a way that would actually get to where they are. And I like this a lot because someone came up to me afterwards and I was like, I loved your speech. And I was like, oh, thank you. And they're like, I thought about it and the stuff you said was actually really smart. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And they were like, oh, I actually, you might have changed my mind because I didn't think about that before. I was like, whoa, like actually, whoa, actually. So maybe I did not do as bad of a job persuading as I thought, because persuasion is not about infallible arguments most of the time. It's really about posturing. And I had my grandfather and father review this speech afterwards, and they both said it was very good. And they're both teachers or former teacher, so public speaking is kind of like the thing for that. And they said it was very good. My grandfather made comments like, it is very nice to listen to because you looked like you were having fun with what we were talking about. It's like, yes, I very much did. So people like received that well. and I had good hand gestures. This is something I've recognized about myself already. I think I commented in my previous installments that hands come naturally to me. I like the pointer. People like the pointer. The pointer was fun. I already owned it, and I was like, I have to, for some, this one I actually have a PowerPoint, so it will work with this one, and I can just go, oh, and my grandfather said that I had good eye contact, which looking at the recording, I didn't notice that. I think I don't, but I'm just being picky about that because I was trying, guys, I try really hard for eye contact. Eye contact's rough. I'm making eye contact with myself in the screen right now but besides reading the board, I guess I looked like I was looking at people. Not that I can remember looking at people for some reason. I just kind of block it out as I'm talking. But, all right, I'll take it. The laughs I got from that speech, that I love that, honestly. Who wouldn't? Yeah, especially after so many of those speeches are just kind of, boring. We're going to run through it for a grade in the class. This was really my goal here, was to try and spread my message to people, which is very difficult to do, I notice, especially in the classroom setting that we're in. I keep saying this, but I want them to hear what I'm saying. And I'm actually succeeding at that, which is I'm so glad. Maybe my grade won't be a perfect 100. I don't even think anyone in that class is going to get a perfect 100, but I'll tell you what's not getting me 100 on this. My time. My time allotted for speaking was 7 minutes maximum, 7:30 if you're lucky. And I went for 9 minutes. Yes, I did. Time is always an issue for me. I cannot help it. I am a yapper at heart, guys. I'm a yapper at heart. but like, guys, come on. It was worth it, wasn't it? You liked it. I know you did. I know the people in that room were having fun. So, yeah, I think it's, in principle, I deserve the extra 2 minutes. Yeah. I deserve your 2 minutes of time. And I was at the end of class as well, which is why you can hear people zipping up everything and packing up as I'm doing Q&A. That's the other thing, is this one had Q&A. Yes, it did. This had Q&A, and it was supposed to be a minute. It was very and I wish it was longer. I really do, because I had to give some very responses, and I didn't hammer home enough what I wanted to get across, especially to the film student guy. He was asking, what is the purpose of self-improvement if free will doesn't exist? And this is a very existential question for people, because the fact that you are making your own choices is a huge motivator. It makes you feel good about yourself when you improve and overcome obstacles, because it's self-worth. I'm worthy of overcoming the obstacle on my own merit, right? And I should get better so I can choose more good things in the future and earn what I have, right? But there's a difference between self-improvement and self-worth here. I think self-improvement definitely is real. Like I said, time passes and you do get better. That's literally predetermined how good you will get. You're not really controlling that, are you? In the sense that you might think that you are. But if you should not base your self-worth on that. People have this libertarian and compatibilism sense of self-worth, and this is something I didn't think about before my speech, so I wish I would have touched on it. Not that I could have, because I had so much overtime, but people think of their own self-worth based on their own actions, and that doesn't really line up. I would prefer it if it was more based on the fact that you're a human being and that you should try and be happy. That's about it. That's a bit cut and dry and raw, and people think that has bad moral implications, but as I've established, morality is based on practicality. So there's just things to iron out there. That is completely off track though. We're gonna review my speech. Us and ums. I don't use like as a filler word really. That's not my thing. But I do use us because sometimes I cheat and I turn them into the letter A's. I'm okay with this speech. I did a lot of us in this speech compared to the other ones, even a lot because I this is a trade-off I'm also willing to take. Is I think even though I had so many us, it flowed much better and was less choppier than the other ones. The other ones I was having to think on the fly and I would have pauses and it didn't really make that much sense. But I'm okay with this because when I added the us, I feel like people paid attention more. And originally, this is funny. Originally, my persuasive speech was gonna be on filler words are good. Actually, that's what it was gonna be on. But I had to do something that was globally contested, or of academic importance. So I was like, okay, that's whatever. I'm not gonna do that. But in principle, you know where I stand. My grade. We'll see if my grade reflects that. Actually, she might be gracious. She might not recognize my us. But oh, this is. I think I mentioned this in the last one. I have been trying to emulate people who I think are good speakers. This is particularly my professors that I admire for their speaking. My philosophy professors in particular. That's, oh, shocker. But I think in this one I adopted a very professor cadence. If you know what I mean, I guess you know what I mean. I like it. I'm endeared to it, honestly. It's what I was going for. It's kind of what I'm achieving at this point. So, you know, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm really, yeah. Oh, the outfit. Let's talk about the outfit, guys. I had fun with this one. Rainbow suspenders? Are you joking? Like, come on. I have weird, pretentious metaphors for the outfit pieces that I picked. So I had rainbow suspenders. The rainbow, the spectrum of visible light, was supposed to represent the reasons for our actions that we can see every day, right? But there is a whole wide spectrum of light that humans can't see, and that represents the factors that influence our decisions that we can't. You get it. my makeup, I had a question mark here and here. See? Question mark radiant. This means a couple things. This is like question answer, logic, faith, you know. You get it. You get it. I had a little serotonin molecule necklace. There's no way you could see that. But serotonin is a huge factor in the choices that we make. So on theme. It was fun. I liked it. Shout out to Film Guy again. Love you, Film Guy. We're like this actually. And I think that's about it. I think that's everything I have. Yeah, guys, I really like this speech. The next speech is a group presentation, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll be 3 or 4 members. Group speaking is rough. I want to bring attention to my group members how group speaking is rough. Because usually what ends up happening, we've been in high school classrooms before, usually what ends up happening is I read the intro slide, you read the second slide, you all stand here with your hands behind your back like this and you talk really monotone, you just read off the slide. Guys, I don't want to do that. If the next video you see, I am standing with my hands behind my back and I'm taking turns and I'm reading off a slide, don't let me slide. Oh, shut up. Whatever. I want to tell my group members and be upfront with it. I'm going to try and be group leader because I think I would be okay with that. Hi, Max. I think I want to organize people and motivate people to have fun with what they're saying and want people to understand what they're saying. Understand how the audience will receive your speech. Did you right? Yes. But it will be fine, guys. Maybe my group members can control me and restrain me from talking for 10 minutes. That would be nice if they could do that. But I worry because a lot of the people in that class are very nervous, very, very nervous every time they speak. I'm scared I might overpower people in an intimidating way, but I hope also that maybe instead my energy will be can be bounced off of or something like that. Sorry guys, I was just yapping for 15 minutes and my 16 minutes. See you next time. See you next time.